So the UK elections are going to be coming up really soon. But before that, let's talk about what are some of the immigration changes and what is the influence that has been there over the last few months. If you have been following anything about UK immigration, you would know that there have been a series of cascading effects and new rules that have come in since January this year. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing some of the effects, but also what is the impact that all of these changes are going to have with the recent declaration of the elections, but also moving forward for health and care workers. So if you are interested in any of this content, do not forget to watch this video all the way to the end. But my name is Nikita and I make videos about living in the UK as a healthcare professional, landing those jobs and clearing your HCPC registration so that you can start your journey. And if any of this is of interest to you, do not forget to drop me a follow on Instagram. My handle is Physiotherapy in UK, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. So let's get into today's content. The biggest change that was issued earlier this year was that care workers and senior care workers were not allowed to get their dependents along with them on the health and care worker visa. So what has been the impact of this change? Now let me remind you again that if you are any other healthcare professional, say for example, if you are a physio or doctor, a dentist, an OT, a nurse, etc., you are still allowed to get your dependents with you. When I say dependents, this includes your spouse and your children, and it does not include your parents. Hope that is clear. But let's just see what has been the update in terms of the immigration numbers. So as you can see on your screens right there, it says that health and care worker visa applications are down by 76% this year. It goes on to say that there has been a sharp fall in the number of overseas health and care workers applying for the visa in the first few months of this year as compared to the year before. It goes on to say that only about 12,400 people applied for the health and care worker visa from January to April this year as compared to 50,000 applications which were made during the same period last year. The government goes on to say that they think that their legal immigration show plan is working. Now, what does this mean? I think what this essentially means is that earlier, a lot of care workers and senior care workers were coming along with their dependents. Now, let's just recap this a bit. In order to be a care worker, you did not need to have your HCPC registration, but also you did not need to have any significant qualifications in the healthcare streams, and that's why there were so many applications being made to this particular route. However, as you can see, the government really wants to attract people who are qualified, and that's one of the reasons why this application number for the health and care worker visa has dropped. Now, this is not to say that it has been a negative impact on the health and care worker route and many people are not being landing jobs or getting visas. It simply goes on to say that the number of carers and senior carers who are applying under this route has been drastically reduced, and the number of healthcare professionals applying through this route has stayed the same, because I personally feel that these are the number of healthcare professionals coming along with their dependents into the UK. As you can see, the second statistics that this report goes on to show is that the number of people applying for skilled worker visa rose by 41%, with their dependents increasing by 62%. And this has been following the increased minimum salary threshold for skilled worker visa from 26,200 to 38,700. Now again, what you need to remember is that if you are a health and care worker, this salary threshold does not apply to you because you come under a special visa category which is known as the health and care worker visa. The health and care worker visa is actually a subpart or a subcategory to the tier 2 skilled worker visa, and it has its own salary requirements which you need to fulfill in order to apply for this visa. Now, if you are confused about what are the requirements for the health and care worker visa, please do not forget to check out this video where I've explained all of it from A to Z in a very detailed manner. It says right here that the Home Secretary James Cleverly hailed the drop in health and care worker visa applications as he said it is evidence that their plan to deliver the largest cut to legal immigration in history is working. He added, the British people deserve an immigration system that puts their interests first. Our approach is to control and fairness to the highly skilled coming here who deserve a decent wage, to taxpayers who shouldn't be relied on to support them, and British workers who shouldn't be undercut. We will continue to keep these measures under close review if needed and will not hesitate to go further. Now, Labour shadow immigration minister accused the government of scrambling around, desperately trying to clean up the mess that they've made, as he pointed out the high record numbers in applications to the skilled worker visa. So this was all about the health and care worker visa. And again, I just want to reassure you that these drop in numbers do not mean that there has been less recruitment or there has been no recruitment that has been happening for overseas healthcare candidates. If you are in a position to land a job because you have good clinical skills and excellent background, and above all the required registration, which might be HCPC registration but anything else as well, then you are in a strong position to land jobs, because there are over thousands of vacancies across the entire UK, whether that's England, Scotland, Wales, or even Northern Ireland. So please have a look, guys. And again, if you need any help with landing those jobs, don't forget to check out my playlist on this topic, but also feel free to book a one-to-one session with me where we can go through all of those tiny bits of information. And I promise that at the end of the session, you will come out feeling a lot more confident in your abilities, along with some of the important cheat sheets I will be sharing with you during the session. So don't hesitate and book those one-to-one sessions with me if you have a concern, and I'll leave the link for that in the description box below. Now, the next important topic we're going to be discussing in this video is just about how is the UK elections going to impact the immigration moving forward. And as you can see on your screens right there, it says that Reform UK, which is again one of the political parties, is beginning to look at the immigration. Now, they've said that obviously immigration is one of the key issues for the election. The several others are obviously the NHS waiting times, but also several other key important issues such as the interest rate, the mortgages, etc. And it says that more than 10,000 people have crossed the English Channel in small boats in 2024, setting a new record for this stage of the year. So obviously they are not worried about the NHS and the recruitment in the healthcare sector at this point over here. However, if you scroll further down in this particular article, you will be able to see what are some of UK Reform's immigration pledges. As you can see on their website, it says that the party has set out 6 reforms it says Britain needs in order to address the immigration. The party has called for a freeze on what they term non-essential immigration, adding that smart immigration can target essential skills such as doctors, nurses, and successful business people earning above average salary, which is what the UK economy presently needs. It also says that it has a 6-point plan to stop small boat crossings. And again, like I said, this is hopefully nothing related to us, so please don't be stressed about it. But as you can see right there, even some of the parties in the UK are quite keen to have healthcare professionals and some business people who they feel contribute positively to the UK's economy. So as you can see right now, all of this is positive news in order for healthcare professionals to come to the UK. They have not made it hard, guys. So please do not be stressed about what the current situation is and what it's going to look like for you in the next few months. Because if I'm going to be honest, the odds are always stacked against you. And if that is something, this is stopping you from making your plans to come to the UK, please, please, please don't worry about it. Don't listen to all the chatter and the noise. I'm going to be honest, I came to UK in 2020, 2021, where there was a lot of COVID still existing. UK was still in lockdown. People were just coming out of jobs. People were not landing interviews, etc. And through the midst of that, I have been able to set up myself, have a stable base here, and land a job. And if that is something that you see for yourself, please get the courage to start that journey and take that step right now, because that's what you need to do. I hope this video was useful, guys. And like I said, a lot of positivity is in there through these articles. I'll leave the link for them in the description below if any of you want to go and check them out. But if you have any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments below and I will try to get back to them. Take care, guys. Bye.